Welcome to Pasha. Pasha shungs were introduced into my world years ago, sitting at a little tea shop in Monghai City in southwestern Yunnan. And I was sitting with talents, perceptions, knowledge, and palettes of those who were professional, keen, obsessed, neurotic for new finds, new teas, new shung, new raw pu'ers from Guangdong province. Two of these gentlemen bought in quantities that were astounding, hundreds of kilos. In any case, their sampling was unlike any other tea sampling I'd been a part of, and it simply involved 4 bowls in front of them with 8 grams of leaves from different teas, different fresh young pu'er, raw pu'er, and fully boiled water. The vessels were about 180 to 200 mils each, and fully boiled water poured onto them, and then the infusion began. And it continued, and it didn't end. There was no 15-second, no 20, 25-second infusion. This was a 9 to 10-minute infusion, a deliberate oversteeping, a deliberate overinfusion of the leaves. And the buyers broke it down in saying that by oversteeping a tea, one can determine a lot about a tea. Not only the production, but the raw materials involved, the shape of the leaf structure. And so after 9 to 10 minutes of oversteeping, each of them sipped, and they consistently moved to 2 teas. And at the end, I was invited to sip from one of these bowls, and so I sipped from one, and the one that had been recommended that I sip from was remarkable in that a lot of the nuances, a lot of the structure, a lot of the subtleties of the tea, all of these elements seem to be strangely intact. Second and third bowls tried, the astringency, the bitterness had sort of kicked in to a degree where I could not determine much about the tea at all. And then the fourth tea was not bad. But that first tea was explained in great detail by these buyers from Guangdong, and it was the tea that they preferred. And they preferred it because it kept its structure even with the oversteeping. And so Pasha was sort of kick-started into my life. It has remained in my life, and we're bringing it to you now in a 2020 spring offering. Relatively young bushes, but with all of those sort of faithful qualities of Pasha. Pasha is a tea throughout southwestern Yunnan where they will say it is very difficult to oversteep an infusion of Pasha. This is one of those teas that keeps its lines totally clean. It is not one of our teas of torque, which carry the power and those almost aggressive aftertaste qualities of bachi. This is a tea that is super clean, very subtle, and it's had 1.5 years to age, so it's rounded out really nicely. For me, I think this is a tea to play with in terms of the infusion times and the amount of leaves used. We recommend no less than 6 grams. 8 grams is probably tops that we'd recommend, but this is a tea to play with, to find, to tinker and find your preferred infusion strength, because it is a super subtle tea, and it is a tea that I fully recommend trying on an empty palate first thing in the morning. It is that good. It is the first perfume of the day.